This region around the Great Lakes has been called the heartland. When it comes to agriculture, there's hardly an area in the world that compares.
Everybody, just hold on. I don't know what we're going to have here.
There's a lot of self-proclaimed geniuses out there that know the national yield, but they're all wrong.
Manage money, piling in.
Double digits higher.
So at this point, we're in kind of uncharted territory.
There's a lot of money on the sidelines.
So that was a crazy one.
That's what brings the viewers back. That a boy.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, April 24th, and this is the AgYield War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating today's session. As always, if you got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area, and we'll be sure to get to it during the show. Overnight markets are at May corn up a penny and a quarter at 4.56 3/4. May soybeans were up 3/4 at 11.60 1/2, and May Chicago wheat was down a quarter at 6.10 1/2. No export sales announced here this morning. So with much anticipation, we are now officially wrapped up for the first annual AgYield NextGen Foundation National Scholarship Competition. We are going to go through the last progression here. Nothing really interesting in the way of crop conditions. Corn stayed the same from the previous week. Same on the bean side. The beans were significantly lower, finished significantly lower in the good to excellent category from the previous year. Prices ended up in the last progression up 13 cents for corn. They ended at 4.32. Soybeans were actually a little bit of a setback there, 59 cents lower in the last progression to finish at 13.23. No change on any of the yield side of the equation there. So let's go to our honorable mention here, the 6 through 10 finishers for the first iteration of the scholarship competition. Carter Davis, he had a fantastic performance throughout the competition. He was always hovering there within the top 10. Finished $14,057 out of the fifth and final spot, but kudos to Carter from the University of Illinois. In seventh place, Jean-Claude Nyamugabo from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln finishes in the seventh spot. Tice Bettenhausen, University of Wisconsin-Platteville, with a really good showing, finishing in eighth. Zachary Bottoms got himself back into the top 10 from the University of Illinois, finishing in ninth spot. And Allison Maiman, who came on strong really at the end with a couple of top 10 performances there from Iowa State University. She finishes in the top spot. So with that, we will move into our scholarship recipients. In the fifth position from Wilmington College, moving up 3 spots in the last progression, was Ruth Berry. Congratulations to Ruth. She will receive $2,730 in the form of a scholarship. So congratulations to Ruth. In the fourth spot from Iowa State University, this individual was a consistent top 5 performer throughout the competition, Derek Goff. Derek will receive a $3,240 scholarship for his participation. So congratulations to Derek. In the third spot, this individual, Trace Copper from Tabor College in Hillsborough, Kansas, really, once he got in the top 3, he battled hard and held on throughout the competition. So congratulations to Trace. He will take home a $4,590 scholarship for his efforts. So well done to Trace. And in the second position, this individual had led throughout the competition and certainly was pretty consistently in the top 3 from the University of Iowa, Forrest Innis. He finishes in the runner-up position, and he will take home a $7,290 scholarship. So with that, our grand champion in the number 1 position in the first ever AgYield NextGen Foundation National Scholarship Competition is Wyatt Lovelady from the Iowa State University, freshman there. So congratulations to Wyatt. I think we have, Jack, we've got Wyatt here in the room. Wyatt, congratulations, man. Fantastic job as our first grand champion.
Thank you.
So Wyatt, why don't you share with our viewers and certainly the team what your experience was like here playing the competition, and I guess what your overall strategy was as you went through it.
I had a great experience with the simulator. I really liked it. My main strategy was just go big or go home, pretty much. I went all in on long corn. It ended up paying off somehow. It was a gamble.
Very good. Justin, maybe congratulations to Wyatt and a few thoughts on your side here.
Yeah, no, I mean, congratulations, Wyatt. Yeah, it's you'll be a great farmer someday. Just take a big gamble, go big or go home. But no, it was I think it was fun to watch from my end, at least. You know, watching all the players, you know, and seeing how different strategies developed, and you know, some gambled big, and some, you know, some players stayed right at the top for the whole game. You know, so totally different strategies. You know, you had really big swings, and I think it's pretty indicative of what you see out there in real life, to be honest.
Yeah, we were tracking behind the scenes, and it was I mean, just some of these weekend swings where we'd see in the leaderboard were pretty fascinating. But Wyatt, why don't you share a little bit with the viewers here what your major is, what your thoughts and aspirations are here as you continue your education at Iowa State?
Getting a degree in agronomy and digital precision ag, and hoping to start my own farm one day.
Awesome. That's really cool. Well, Wyatt, listen, we really look forward to seeing you later this summer, where we're able to award you, you know, this significant scholarship and recognize your efforts and have you meet the team and meet everybody that was you know, so crucial in putting this first competition on. So, Jack, why don't I think at this point, why don't we share with Wyatt what his grand champion prize will be here for the first iteration of the scholarship competition. $12,150, Wyatt, towards your education there at Iowa State University. So there you go, man. Congratulations, and maybe a few last words, Wyatt, before we wrap for the morning.
Thank you guys very much. I like that simulator a lot, and I think it's an incredible educational tool.
Very good. Well, thank you, Wyatt. We appreciate you participating. We look forward to conducting these competitions as we go forward down the road. And like I said, man, can't wait to get you here to Chicago and catch up and celebrate this victory. So congratulations. Good luck the rest of the year, and we'll certainly be in touch there. Very good. Wyatt Lovelady takes down the national title. So kudos to Iowa State University. You know, also, I mean, you gotta hand it to Tabor College there with the top 3 finish out of Hillsboro, Kansas. I mean, we had to look Tabor College up on the map. So that was definitely good stuff, guys. Looking at our stuff here this morning, got a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. We're at a standstill with Iran. Dustin, why don't you give us a few thoughts here as we wrap up the week?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Yeah, I think as it relates to grains, you know, we continue to see corn prices maintain near the highs. You know, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, it really is. Geopolitical headlines are kind of the first thing we're looking at right now for direction. I would maintain, you know, that try to sift through the noise and just look at the outcome. You know, until the strait is open, I think that there should be some sort of underlying bid about the fear of, you know, petrochemicals being shut down and fertilizer prices remaining elevated. You know, thinking about some of the ways that this impacts products as well, like the, you know, MCO was a big insurance option that was elected for a lot of people back in September last year. Which is a 2026 insurance product, a county-based product. It's an RMA, you know, federal product, And that is being impacted right now, right? Those are being set in the month of April, and all those costs have gone up quite a bit, which helps it actually improve the coverage of those products. I think, as that gets established, measuring how that changes things for those product holders. But yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be something that would be an underlying bid for the market. It's my personal opinion. Maybe you guys differ on that, but until we get through the seasonal, I don't see the shorts being really willing sellers to go step in front of this train until we figure out what's going to happen.
Daniel,
Did we lose you?
It's Friday. Sorry, boys. Ben, what's your thoughts as we head to the weekend? It's Ben's turn.
I'm here. I just heard the nothing basically.
Drop some knowledge on us, buddy. What do you got?
I mean, what do you say? The most exciting thing of the last week in the grain market has been the scholarship competition, right?
Yeah.
So thankfully we had that to lean on. Option expiration today. I don't expect a lot. Soybeans, Dan brought up before the meeting that 30,000 open interest come out of beans in the last 2 days. I think there's some, there's been some kind of quiet exiting going on there for a little bit. Next week is first notice day week. I think beans are vulnerable there a lot more than corn. Just real simpleton math, deliverable stocks of soybeans are historically high. Corn was historically high and it's come off tremendously. There's probably still a lot of corn on farm and in the kind of Western Plains and Dakotas. But next week's a chance that if you think that these markets are good, that's probably your chance to buy it if you think you can have a seasonal rally. Justin brought up a good point that it feels like the potential in the energy markets is just now coming to the place where the last of the boats that left the straits before the war are hitting their destinations, and there's nothing behind that really in the pipeline. So I think there's a lot here that is left to be unpacked, and it feels for now like in the grains that the hands a little bit off the mouse for a lot of traders, just kind of waiting to see what happens next. And until we get things planted, we get through, looks like there's going to be a tremendous amount of rain that hits the lower Mississippi River, and those crops are moving along at this point. So you wonder there's still a lot of risk is what I'm getting at too in production, and coming kind of early since it's April 24th. So we'll see. I think that the grain story is still a little bit over the horizon, and we've seen that manifest itself in stronger December and March prices than we've seen in old crop. The spreads have moved out a little bit. You're looking at March corn today trading 7 cents off its highs, maybe 8, I don't know, something like that. And you see the back end of commodities. I think that's where the real concern is later on. So,
Justin, anything to add? Going into another weekend here, we'll see what Sunday night looks like, but get some little bit of planning done here in Northern Illinois. It feels like, which is good.
Yeah, there's nothing much to add. I mean, we've said all the stuff this whole week, so
same show.
I could sit there and say the same thing, but just go watch. Yeah, go watch the last couple episodes, I guess.
Very cool. Well, it was good to see, though. I mean, awesome. Like you said just a minute ago on the show, though, the participation that these kids had for the simulator and for the game was tremendous. I mean, you had kids doing hundreds of what ifs within the simulator, which was cool.
Yeah, and I would say, I think Wyatt, to be honest like that and just say he gambled, I think was good. And you could see, I think the name was Forrest that was in second place. You had a couple of those guys that did it right, and if you played 5 games, 6 games over those 5 or 6 games, those guys would be on the top, so I was proud to see some of those actually do it the right way. And, those are the guys that would run a successful farm, year in and year out, staying. I mean, they were at the top through when the market was breaking hard. They were at the top when the market rallied hard. Obviously, if you go all in, you're going to win some years. So he was, Wyatt was honest about it, but that's what happened at the end. He caught, so, props to the guys that stayed at the top of the leaderboard. You can see when you go through those games, their average rank, and some of those guys, their average rank was 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So they stayed up there, when the market broke, when it rallied, all, throughout conditions. So they really utilized the software the right way. So that was good to see.
Yeah, it's awesome. Looking forward to seeing these guys when they come to town for the next gen outing, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, good stuff. Very, very fun. Ryland, real quick, let's talk livestock as we go through the wrap up the week here. Struggled early yesterday, had a nice rally late. Rollins is supposed to talk today. See if we get any semblance of guidance there on the border. And then front end of hogs had a good day yesterday. So what are your thoughts as we wrap the week?
Yeah, no, we've hopped right back up. I mean, it seemed like cash trade 246 live yesterday, but actually squeaked in a little bit at 247. So I think that was just a lot better than what the market was kind of expecting here late in the week, especially at the bad price action. So we ended up closing June back over the 25-day moving average. It feels like you baked in a lot of the bad news, just all the bad cash news, bad kind of carcass performance. So overall, just feels like probably see a decent chunk of short covering today. I mean, I don't know if it's officially over yet, that we should try to pick a bottom here, but it just feels like things are starting to stabilize a little bit on that end. So we'll see how we end up closing here today. And on the hog side of things, kind of interesting trade. We had a nice little reversal. We traded inside of the gap on the downside and just reverse course. So it seems like there's definitely a little bit of support here. But what we're seeing right now is a big chunk of the commitment right now going to October. So right now, October is carrying more open interest than June or July. So it seems a little bit strange to me. I think there's a lot of gambles going on, or at least a lot of bets going on, that we're going to have a little bit of a supply problem, going out into the fall. Maybe that's a disease-related problem or such, but it just seems like there may be a flight to safety. But very interesting to see that open interest up there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if producers were hedging out there too, in general, but it just feels like there's a lot of managed money that's taken a lot more focus to the back end of the market. But the day-to-day, we didn't get any cash trade reported yesterday, but carcass was down 73 to 97.82, and bellies up just a little bit at 41. So hopefully we see a little bit better of a seasonal performance here in the next several weeks, but otherwise just kind of feels like we could languish pretty easily just without seeing any real follow through in cash. So would like to see a little bit more strength, a little bit more follow through. I think that would help the technical momentum, but otherwise fundamentals just seem a little bit stuck right now.
Very good. Appreciate the update there. It's Friday. We made it to the end. Brian, why don't you give us a little fun fact Friday here?
All right. Thanks, Dan. Happy Friday, everybody. And congrats to Wyatt again, being the first scholarship winner. So I thought let's look at some Iowa State fun facts for him. So Iowa State football team earned the nickname Cyclones in 1895 after how the Chicago Tribune described them after they demolished Northwestern. It said Northwestern had a better chance of beating an Iowa tornado. But a tornado as a mascot was hard to do back then. So what they said, well, we'll settle on a cardinal. So we'll do Cy the Cardinal. The original Cy mascot in 1954 was huge. It was over 8 feet tall, made of chicken wire and aluminum, so heavy that the wearer had to be between 5'11" and 6'2" and 175 to 200 pounds. So that's pretty tough position to be in if you were that mascot wearer. So early versions of the mascot was kidnapped by rivals and even wrecked in a car accident on the way to the Liberty Bowl. In 1953, students went on a 3-day riot, setting fires, tipping sheds, blocking U.S. highways, and demanding more tear gas from the police. Why, you ask? They wanted a day off after beating Missouri for the homecoming game in football. In the Memorial Union's Gold Star Hall, there is a bronze zodiac in the floor. Step on it and you'll flunk your next exam. But if you accidentally do step on it, you have to run to the fountain of the Four Seasons and throw a coin in it. And lastly, Iowa State is in the Guinness Book of World Records for making the largest Rice Krispie treat. And I think we have a picture of that, Jack.
I bet Ryland's
got to be involved.
Come on, Ryland.
No, certainly not. It does look delicious. delicious. I love it.
I love that he's always got his headset on. He's always working.
I know.
Guy's a
Never take it
grinder,
off.
man. Yeah.
Guy's a grinder. Don't pay attention to that chomping in the background.
Happy
go,
Friday,
boys.
everybody.
Happy Friday.
Hey, he's getting bigger again, though, guys. He was thinning
Yeah, I
out.
saw
Now he's
that.
getting a little
he's gotta
He
carry
laid off
that
the Rice
chicken
Krispies.
suit.
After
Jack's telling it to add 10 pounds or 20 every time.
10. Yeah.
20.
Very good. Thanks, Bri. Check out the War Room report. We got the link in the description. Gives you access to premium content, deeper dive into all the things we talk about every day on the War Room. So check that out. Also, a portion of those subscription fees will go to support the AgYield NextGen Foundation, which, as you know, puts on the National Scholarship Competition. So check that out. Really good cause. Also, the AgYield NextGen Foundation Golf Classic will be July 27th at Aurora Country Club. The link is also in the description if you'd like to learn more, get a chance to meet the scholarship recipients from this first inaugural competition, have a great day of golf, camaraderie, meet industry folks as well. So check that out. Let us know if you've got any questions. We can help you out there. We appreciate everybody that tunes in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like and certainly subscribe. Doing this every day that the markets are open on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live at 8:15 Central Time. Appreciate the thoughts and comments here this morning, guys. It was a good show. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again on Monday.
The War Room is presented by AgYield, a risk management partner of American grain farmers for over 50 years. Looking for more in-depth analysis? Check out the War Room report. Our team's knowledge and expertise delivered straight to your inbox every weekday. Each report delivers key market-moving headlines, critical weather updates, USDA report breakdowns, and exclusive video content. All for $50 a month. And most importantly, 10% of every subscription will go directly to support the AgYield NextGen Foundation, a nonprofit investing in agricultural education and the future of farming. To sign up for the War Room report, check out the link in the description or learn more at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.